Good morning, everybody. Oops, sorry. Good morning, everybody. It's so good to see everybody's faces for what we believe will be our last Get Moving Middleton on Zoom. So can't wait to see everybody in person next month. And Kristen will tell you a little bit more about some of our in-person events and how important it will be to keep your eyes peeled on our newsletter to make sure that you've got the right dates and the right locations. So let's start out by thanking our annual sponsors. This is a member favorite. It's one of our most well-attended events, and so it would not be possible without the support of these amazing businesses. We have MG&E, Hilton Garden Inn, Marco Technologies, and Premier Retirement Partners. So if you run into anybody from those organizations, please thank them for their partnership and support of the Middleton Chamber. I'm so happy that this might be the last time we go through the virtual etiquette, but here we go. We'll do it one last time. Closed captions are on right now. That was something that some of our members asked for, and we delivered. If you do not want the closed captions, if it's distracting to you, there's a live transcript button, CC button, for most of you on the bottom of your screen. You can click that, and it'll turn that off. We do a virtual business card exchange at these events, and so typically we do not share our members' email addresses. However, in the virtual world, because we aren't able to pass those business cards, we have been providing that. If you do not want your information on that list that will be sent out to anybody who registered, please contact Kristen. The email goes out on Friday, so make sure you do that yet today. And please, please don't spam. People make this an opportunity to make one-on-one connections. We want to be able to continue to provide this awesome benefit in our the events that we're going to continue to do virtually. As always, our community events and member news can be found on our website at middletonchamber.com. There's so many ways to get outside and enjoy the summer. A lot of our nonprofit businesses and for-profit businesses have 5K runs, walks, bike rides. So if you go out to our events page, you'll see at the top a link for our community events. Check those out. Grab your pups, your kids, your family, your friends, and get out there and have some fun this summer. We continue to update our resource page. It started out as a COVID resource page, and we've expanded it to so much more. So, we look at part of our role as a chamber to connect people with people and with resources. So check that out. And then all of our events that we are doing virtually are on our YouTube channel, along with other fun stuff. So make sure you check that out as well. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the fabulous Lisa Kwam for the membership updates. Take it away, Lisa.
Unmute.
Unmute.
Yep. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Just a quick reminder that if you don't already follow the Middleton Chamber of Commerce on social media, we do post quite a bit on there. So make sure that you do that to stay up to date on what is going on. Next up for me is our membership milestones. So it's always thrilling for me each month to see how many of these members have been with us for a really long time, particularly the Bruce Company, who's been with us since the beginning. So now I have the pleasure of introducing our new members. We have 13 this month, so let's get going. First up is Annika Frame Creative. Annika Frame provides marketing solutions for small to medium-sized businesses, including graphic design, social media strategy, web design, and other general marketing consulting. So welcome, Annika. Next up is Brookdale Senior Living. Brookdale invests in their residents' spiritual, physical, and emotional well-being, and they have events sometimes that are open to the public. Next is Carol from Freedy & Associates, and they have been building Wisconsin for more than 75 years. What an incredible legacy. So let's welcome Ashley Reniker from Great Midwest Bank. They're a community bank operating for the benefit of their depositors, borrowers, and the communities that they do business So we're going to move on here to Walker from Hidden Cave Cidery. And Walker just opened a new tasting room in Middleton, and he's really passionate about using local produce to create his delicious cider. So next we have Doug from Legacy Advisor Network. They're an independent financial advisory firm providing comprehensive financial planning. Next up is Jim from Lemberg Sign and Lighting, and they provide award-winning designs, quality fabrication, and experienced installer with all of their signs and lighting. So next up is Miramax Behavioral Health. They're a new mental health facility in Middleton, and they're actually having their ribbon cutting today at 10 o'clock in the morning, followed by an open house. So join us there if you can. And Office Evolution is a new co-working space that's opening very soon, possibly even today in Madison. So let's all welcome Stacy. Next up is Joey's Song. They're a nonprofit that uses music to raise awareness and funds in the fight against epilepsy. So welcome to Mike. Nicole Rawling from Stark uses her experience as a former attorney to provide professional assistance to all of her real estate clients. Next, we have Dylan from West Point Financial, and he provides objective and customized insurance strategies to meet his clients' needs. And last up is Zoology. They're a cutting-edge tech company that helps people find convenient, eco-friendly ways to get from here to there. So welcome to Shri. And then we do have the best ambassadors here at the Middleton Chamber of Commerce. So please join me in recognizing and thanking our June ambassadors of the month, Ryan Paulsrud and Jennifer Cradwell. And then my last slide is on microgroups. So we have a few new ones on this list, and you can either visit our website or reach out to me for more information. So now it's time to turn it over to Kristen.
Good morning, everyone. Our July calendar looks a little less than maybe what you guys are used to seeing because we have our golf outing this month. If you are not golfing with us, you still have the opportunity to join us later that day during our social. So from 4 to 6, we're going to be at Pleasant View for the 19th hole social that we call it. Tickets are available for that for purchase from the website. And then as Kate mentioned, we are starting back Get Moving Middleton in person, and we are so excited to be able to see you guys and do this, you know, in a room together rather than in Zoom. So just note that August is actually the second Thursday. That does happen again. I'm gonna forget, October, I believe, October or November. So just make sure that you're watching the calendar for the dates for Get Moving Middleton. To kind of recap where we're at. So On Track is the marketing and technology track that we have for this year. We're actually going to keep those virtual. They've worked really well, especially considering they're technology based, the topics. We are going to continue Networking Blitz as well. That's going to go virtual through the end of the year because that's the way the platform works. Get Moving Middleton, as I just mentioned, is back in person in August. Our economic development picks up in person in August. And Business Boost in person in August. So really excited about all of those professional developments to bring to you guys. And then our business social hours, for those of you, some of you joined us last week at X Golf. We had our first one. July is that golf outing social we just talked about. I'll tell you what's happening in October in a second. And then December, we'll be doing a business social hour over at the Holiday Inn. So my word of advice is just to pay close attention to the location and the date listed on each of those events on the calendar. So hopefully you guys saw the news about Sporttoberfest. Some of you that have been at the chamber before may know that we have done sports night at Kiva. Really fun. You don't have to be athletic to do this. It's fun games such as tossing the rubber chicken. I mean, if that's not something that's a life goal for you, I don't know that we can be friends. But it's really a great team building activity. We know that you guys have maybe not been with your teams in person for 15, 16 months at this point. So this is a great team building way for you guys to come out. We're going to take teams up to 6 people. There is an entry fee, but that gets you a brat or a veggie brat, a soft pretzel, and then a beverage as well. So a really great time. Would love to have you guys join us, put a team together. Also, just have networking tickets available for that as well. And then if your dream is to sponsor an event where they are tossing rubber chickens, I mean, this is it. So reach out to me if you're interested in sponsorship. And as you guys can see on this slide, the coveted rubber chicken trophy is up for grabs. So the winning team will be taking that home for the next year. And I'm going to turn it back to Kate for our speakers today.
All right. Thank you, Kristen. And Vicki, you never cease to amaze me. She also did send out a chat to everyone that for the golf outing, we are selling ball drops, so you do not need to be present to win, correct? Am I correct on that? It's super fun, fire truck, go up in the bucket, drop the balls, closest to the hole wins. So if you're interested in that, be sure to reach out to us. All right, so first up today for our speakers, we have Andrea from Downtown Middleton Business Association. Who doesn't know Andrea? We love her. Andrea and her husband, Matt, opened Long Table Beer Cafe in downtown Middleton almost 4 years ago in October 2017. And I also hear that they have a really nice wine list too. She became president of the DMBA in February of 2020 and continues to be touched by the support of so many in the community for downtown Middleton businesses. Andrea, turning it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Kate. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about downtown Middleton with all of you. It's obviously a very interesting time for so many of our small businesses with a mix of excitement and then certainly some challenges as we continue to build back our business from the past 15 months or so. Mostly, though, it's just been awesome to see the return of people and the return of vibrancy to our downtown area. I do have 5 things I want to share with you about downtown Middleton today. The overall theme, though, is just that we are here. We have a lot of summer fun activities and events in store, and we just really hope that you'll all come visit us and show your local love. So you can switch slides, Kristen. There we go. So we are here to serve you. We invite you to come shop, taste, and explore our local flavor. We have over 50 locally owned businesses ready to serve you. Most of us did weather the storm of the past year. We unfortunately did lose a few businesses, but most are here, and you can see the breakdown. We have 18 food and drink businesses, 11 retail shops, 20 plus services that can handle anything from hair salons and exercise to financial planning and real estate to banking, dental, eye care. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody in downtown Middleton. On the food and drink side, I would love to just see in the chat who can tell us. We have a couple of newcomers over the past year, actually. If anybody in the chat can call out who the newest restaurant is to downtown Middleton, I'll have a little prize to share with you. And all right, Steve got it already. Poke opened just a couple weeks ago. We're not done on that slide yet. Kristen, if you can go back, sorry. We also have a number of retailers, and there's some exciting news on the retail front. Journeyman and Cloth and Metal are both expanding their spaces, which is really exciting to see some expansion. So please come as you return to your offices and you're looking for places to get together and meet in person with people again, consider downtown Middleton and our restaurants. If you are pressed for time on your lunch hours, remember that many of our businesses, restaurants as well as retailers, continue to offer the online ordering and carry out. So skip the drive-throughs of the big chains, and we can help you out with any of your needs when you're out and about in town. So you can go on to the next slide. We do have all kinds of summer fun underway, and a lot of these are events that are being put on through wonderful collaboration that started last year through partnership with not only all the businesses, but also through our partners at the city, the CDA, Chamber. It's just been a wonderful year of collaboration, and we're looking forward to that continuing. Story Walk is underway for the 4th version of Story Walk. It's a chance to walk around downtown and read delightful children's books, 1 page per business, visiting 23 businesses. This is the 4th iteration. library in the park is actually starting up in July, summer storytime hours. We continue to have Pick Your Picnic in Stonehorse Green, where you can order carryout from any of our restaurants with a handy QR code that would direct you right to all of the online order links for all of our restaurants. And tonight starts Downtown Middleton Summer Fun, which is going to be a wonderful series of live performances in Stonehorse Green every Thursday through July and August from 6 to 8 p.m. So we hope that you'll come out and enjoy some summer fun with live music. And we're grateful to the CDA for pulling that fun series together. I will let you advance. One of the elements of summer fun is that the fun is going to spill out into the street. Hubbard Avenue will be closed from Parmenter down around the curve onto Aurora over to Elmwood. Have no fear though, parking is still plentiful even with that street closure. It'll be fun to expand the fun into the street. There are plenty of other options, whether you're coming down on these Thursday nights or just in general, to be aware of all the parking available in downtown Middleton. We have actually 5 municipal service lots. You can see the 4 highlighted here. The quarry lot over near Capitol Brewery is also an option for public parking. A number of the businesses have off-street parking as well between the 2 lots in Middleton Center for customers of Middleton Center businesses. Cayuga has a couple of different lots for customers of those businesses, and the BMO parking lot is available after hours as well. And then the VA municipal lot is actually off on Terrace. If you've ever gone to Capitol Brewery and enjoyed their live music and their event parking, it's just a short walk on Terrace underneath Highway 12 there, that overpass, available after hours and weekends. And then of course, there's bike racks located throughout, so we always encourage bicycling to come downtown as well. And we also have an opportunity to get some local love. The businesses have all put together a special offer. You can get this cute little book that has offers to 23 businesses, ranging from free cookies or salad at Long Table to $10 off purchases. It costs $20 retail is what we have been selling it for chamber members today. If you go to our website, downtownmiddleton.com/local-love, we have a special promo code called Chamber50. You can get 50% off of these books to show your local love. The offers are good through September 30th, so there is plenty of time to show your local love and pick up one of these deals. And then finally, we would love to have you continue to connect with us. Reach out by email. We've got a website chock full of information on events and parking. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. And I will be picking a winner out of anybody who tags us on Facebook and Instagram. So 2 winners. Tag us in a post today and we will get you your own local love book. And that's what I have. We hope to see you downtown.
Thank you, Andrea. Yes, get downtown, do some shopping around, enjoy some green space. There's plenty to do. All right, next up, we have meteorologist Brendan Johnson, who joined NBC 15 as a weekend evening meteorologist in September of 2020. He originally came from the Chicago area. We won't hold that against him. Brendan spent 3 years as a meteorologist and a reporter in Fort Smith and Fayette, Arkansas, covering breaking news as well as Arkansas's active and often exciting weather. I'm going to turn it over to you, Brendan.
Awesome. Can everybody hear me all right?
We can.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Kristen, for the opportunity. It is, as they mentioned, I came from Northwest Arkansas. That was my last market. I worked there for 3 years. So been blessed to work in 2 probably of the most fast growing markets in the country, Bentonville, Arkansas, home of Walmart, J.B. Hunt and Tyson. So to go from there to here, really exciting. So I want to just take half the time for everybody that does not know how a weather broadcast is put together. I went ahead and did a quick little tour. Quick tour of the NBC 15 studio, our news desk, News Now, couch, and the area where a lot of our reporters will front their pieces and stories for the night. But we'll start with the weather center. This is where we make our forecasts. We've got several different workstations for all of us to create that forecast at. Here's my worksheet, all of the models and the lows and highs for each day. But making a weather forecast, it's a little bit more involved than what you see on TV. We have to take a look at the surface map, where our low and high pressure centers are, our frontal boundaries, pressure lines, and of course where the moisture is at the surface. But we take a look at what's happening thousands of feet above our heads. This is 40 or 50,000 feet above our heads, and the wind pattern and how fast those winds are moving. We also take a look at the energy or the spin in the atmosphere and where that spin is advecting or moving to. We've also got temperature, moisture, maybe 7,000 feet above our heads. This really can tell you where the rain is going to be, where the cloud cover is going to be. And then all of those things are kind of in the now, what's overhead currently. And each of those quantities can be taken out 24, 48, 72 plus hours in our models. And we have several different models that we use. This is just one particular website with just a handful of models. This another. And I think this looks a little bit more familiar to everyone, where the rain's going to be, how hard that rain's going to be. And again, just another tool that we use with several different models in it. Now, all that stuff happens behind the scenes. What you actually see on TV is made right here in our computer graphics system. I consider it a very fancy version of PowerPoint, but this is a 3D graphic rendering system. We create the graphics. They're all rendered out in one suite of software with their own dedicated computer towers back in our engineering room. And while we're doing all of that, we got to keep tabs on social media, posting regularly and checking for video, photos, things like that, in addition to actually being on television. And speaking of that, most of the television you see, weather-wise, is done right here at the green screen. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is meteorologists do not read from a teleprompter. All I have is the graphic, me, and I can look to my right, I can look straight ahead, and look to my left. And while all this is happening, I have an earpiece in, and someone is giving me time cues, and I have to be out in the right amount of time so that we can hit that beloved commercial break. Yeah, so when Kristen said that you only have 5 minutes, and I have a countdown timer, I relate to that on a spiritual level. Otherwise, someone would be in my ear giving me time cues. But it is a fascinating career. And I hope this just kind of gives you an idea of what we do behind the scenes. So, you know, when everybody says, oh, meteorologists only write half the time and still get paid, there is a lot that goes into the forecast. And we do look at quite a few different things when we're putting together that forecast. Talking to a business community, I am a severe weather nut. I worked in Arkansas for 3 years, so I always like to just do a little PSA, if you will, about staying weather aware and keeping severe weather safety at front of mind. You know, I think it's important that everybody, not just people that live in at home, but if you're at work or you own a place of business, that you have a defined severe weather safe place. And oftentimes we have to really think about that with the different facilities that you have. So if you have a larger warehouse or a store, it's a lightly supported roof. Are you able to get people quickly to a space that is a little bit more secured, central, lowest level? And then the other thing is, you know, if you're the point person as the owner, do you have a means of communicating a severe weather threat to your staff? Is there a point person on location that could help out and get people out of harm's way at a moment's notice? So things to be thinking about. And then it's another thing to put it into practice when we issue an alert day. All 3 TV stations here in the Madison market have some form of an alert day. So when we issue those are really just kind of an extra emphasis on the weather of that day. It could be a nuisance kind of a weather, you know, just a really soggy day. And other days it can be dangerous and life-threatening weather. So it's always good to have the weather in the back of mind. And this is something I tell everybody: when severe weather strikes, get your information from someone, not something. Any good meteorologist is going to tell you, look at the TV, look at a person delivering the forecast, not your weather app on your iPhone. It is not going to tell you where the tornado is. You might read a warning from the National Weather Service, but you really want somebody walking you through where the rotation is, where it's heading, and you're getting that information in real time. So if you're a Gary Canalti fan or a John Ziegler fan, I won't hold it against you. I don't, they don't want me to tell you that, but I'd rather you get it from somewhere. And have multiple ways to get an alert, and at least one method that can wake you out of a sound sleep, because we are heading into July. It is July. This is the top month for severe weather in South Central Wisconsin. So with that, if there's any questions, I also just want to encourage you to download our weather app. This is a great way to get those multiple ways to get the alert. And we've got that QR code that you can put your phone up to download it. And otherwise, feel free to connect with me. Send me your photos, any questions you have, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WX Brendan, and my email there for you. And Kristen, again, just thank you for the opportunity. The station loves connecting with the community. So again, if you ever have story ideas or anything, email us, tell us. We love to get out and about in our community.
Thank you so much, Brendan. Thank you for helping to keep our community safe. We definitely appreciate you. This makes me think of my grandmother, who used to say, "It'll be whether or not," which is really open for interpretation.
Yeah.
But probably not something you appreciate too much. So
Yeah.
It's your tagline if you want to start using it. I'm okay with it.
I like it. I'll add it into the rotation.
It'll be whether or not. All right, next up, we have Emily with Blue Heron Business Partners. A lot of you may recognize Emily. She spent the last 3 years with Action Coach of Wisconsin, but she recently made the leap into business ownership. Blue Heron Business Partners is contracted business development partner for the business owner that's wearing all the hats and needs support in nurturing leads, building strategic partnerships, and building systems around their lead generation process so they can grow their team and expand their reach. Emily is here today to offer some networking tips that work both in person and virtually. Emily, over to you.
Thank you, Kate. Good to see everybody. Thank you for having me. And so I, as most of you know, I am a networker to the core. I love making connections with people and making sure that they're meaningful and helpful for everybody that I talk to. Kristen, you can change the slide. Thanks. So if you're still networking from home, this honestly was one of the best things that came out of COVID, is doing 30-minute Zoom meetings with people, for me anyways, to just be able to see how can we work together, what connections can we help each other make, and then not have to drive 20, 30, 40 minutes back and forth to a location. But if you're still networking from home, keep yourself out there, keep your LinkedIn up to date, and be present on there. Comment, like, share, put things out there that you're learning, or connections, conversations that you're having with people. Because before COVID, I think it was in 2018, I decided to start posting 5 days a week on my LinkedIn. And after about 6 months, there wasn't a single networking event that I could go into where somebody didn't know who I was. And that was awesome, because I didn't have to make a cold, "Hi, I'm Emily." People were coming up to me and saying, "I see your stuff on LinkedIn all the time. I really want to get to know you better." And that was a really good segue into, okay, how can we help each other? So engage with the associations that you're part of. Like the Middleton Chamber has done an amazing job over the last year and a half, keeping people engaged and connected throughout this virtual world. The Blitzer event has been one of my favorite ones, because you have 6 minutes to see whether or not the person you're talking to is somebody that you want to make a longer connection with. And at the end of those, say, I'd love to continue this conversation, either in person or on a 30-minute Zoom. And 9 times out of 10, people say, yeah, I'd be happy to continue this conversation, especially if you are interested in what they're saying and not just talking about yourself the whole time. That is a key point, that you want to make sure that you're actually trying to figure out how you can help one another out. The other thing is with the golf outing and the Sporttoberfest, have people on your team that aren't necessarily people you work with. because if you're in a golf outing and you are playing with 4 people that you know really well, you're not really networking, and you don't really have a chance to network until the end. So if you can bring a prospect that you are really excited about maybe working with or building a relationship with, or a strategic partner that you think should meet somebody that you know, try and mix it up a little bit so that there's a win-win for everybody on the team. But if you're playing with everybody you work with, you're probably going to get just about that much that much help moving forward, even though it is fun. So sometimes that is the best way to go. But if you're trying to make connections, think about that. You can connect. You can go to the next slide, Kristen. Thanks. And leverage your current network. You all, like the Middleton Chamber, if you have been part of it for a long time, you know the connections are vast in this community. So think about the people that you haven't talked to in a while, reach out, see how they're doing. See, there have been a lot of job changes during this time. So see if there's any connection that you can help them make to people that are going to help their business grow or be a really good partner for them. Make suggestions to the people that you're networking with to see, like, listen for who are they looking to connect with? What would be a good connection for them, and help them make those connections, because I'm one of those people that will pull the wallflower off the wall and say, hey, who do you need to meet today? But I know not everybody is like that. So if you are somebody that want to help other people bridge those connections and help them feel a little bit more comfortable, and make sure that you are listening for people that they should connect with to either help them learn, help them to develop a strategic partnership with, or to maybe do business with. That's how I look at LinkedIn too. I look at LinkedIn in 3 buckets. So either you're somebody I'm going to learn from, you're somebody that could be a strategic partner of mine, or we might work together at some point. But I'm always listening for opportunities for us to be able to help each other grow in whatever way that looks like. And talk, but also listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Actually listen to what people are saying so that you can add value to the conversation. All right, you can go to the next one. And don't just meet just to meet, unless that's how you want to do things. That's totally cool. But if you have already talked to somebody and you have kind of exhausted where you can go at this point, it's okay to say, you know, I don't have availability for the next 6 months, but I'd love to connect with you in 6 months from now to see how we can help each other then. Have a plan for what it is that you're trying to discover in the meeting. So is this somebody that you're going to learn from? Could they be a strategic partner, or somebody that you could connect your clients to that might be helpful, especially if you're a B2B business? Or are they a prospect that you just want to get to know and see what problem you can solve that they may have at this current moment? Does it have to be in person? Sometimes you can just start virtually and see, you know, feel it out and see if it is worth a longer conversation in person. And then, like I said, try and discover what kind of connection this is going to be. And you may not know going in. You may go in saying, you know, I'm just open to whatever opportunity is here, and whatever happens, happens. And at some point, I'm going to learn something during this conversation, and it's going to be great. But don't go in thinking I have an agenda and I'm going to sell this person, because they're going to smell that from a mile away, and they're not going to want to have a conversation with you after a while. All right, Kristen, you can go to the next. Awesome. And then plan to follow up. So one of the things that I did that was pretty successful during our virtual living was I would come to events like this where there were a lot of people on the call, and I'd write down the names of the people that were there, and I'd connect with them on LinkedIn, really honestly saying, you know, I saw that you were on the Middleton Chamber call today, would love to get to know you and see how we might be able to help each other grow our networks. And 9 times out of 10, I'd schedule a 30-minute one-on-one with people. And at the end of that conversation, both of us were walking away with something that was going to help us. So have a follow-up strategy. Like Kate said before, don't spam people with your email newsletter if they didn't ask for it, because they're going to unsubscribe and they're going to be really annoyed that they got put on your email list. So truly make a connection with people. And if it's somebody you don't actually think that you could do business with, it's okay to not reach back out. Like if you've seen them on this and they've reached out to you and you've reached out to them and you've discovered that it's not something that is going to be mutually beneficial, it's okay to have them in your network, but it's also okay to say, you know, at this point, let's give it 6 months and see where we are then. And that it's totally fine. You're not hurting anyone's feelings. But find a way to follow up. And as most of you know, I'll be really quick. I know my time's up. As most of you know, you can't follow up one time. If you really want to get to know somebody, you're going to have to follow up multiple times in order to build that relationship and that know, like, and trust. And last one, I think, yep. So connect with me on LinkedIn. My new email is emily@blueheronbusinesspartners.com. And I don't have a website yet because I just left Action Coach on Friday and it's been a crazy couple days. So looking forward to staying in touch with all of you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Emily. Hey, I think there is a new member that might be able to help you out with that website. So maybe you two can connect and see if there's some sort of partnership there.
Absolutely.
All right. We are to the part of our program that everybody loves. This is FaceTime. For those of you who this is your first Get Moving Middleton, or you're a new member. This is when we're in person, we talk at our tables virtually. Kristen's going to send us out into a breakout room, and each person will just go around. They will just say their name and the company that they're representing, and then answer the question of the day, and just make sure that you allow time for everybody to participate. We pose a question. Feel free to talk about whatever's comes naturally to your group. The question is, do you like working from home, prefer to be in the office, or is there a balance of both that you like best? Make sure you come back here. We will have a couple of announcements towards the end.
It was like those breakout sessions.
Good. I'm glad. All right. I think we are all back. Kate, if you're ready to close this out.
Kate, you're on mute.
Good Lord. I'm so glad this is the last time that I have to hear, hopefully, that I have to hear I'm on mute. Anyway, welcome to all of our new members. We're so thrilled to have you as part of the Middleton Chamber family. I want to thank all of our ambassadors for all the hard work that you do to help our organization be as great as we are. I want to thank our speakers, Andrea. Hey, if anybody has a gluten allergy, go to Long Table. They can, you can have frites, you can have all sorts of delicious things. Brendan, again, thank you so much for keeping us safe and aware of weather threats. Please, if there's anything you can do for July 21st to have perfect, beautiful, sunny weather for the golf outing, we'll take it. Emily, thank you so much. Great information on making sure that we make true connections and develop partnerships. You know, a lot of times you meet somebody and you're like, I'm not sure right now that there's something, but I know there's something there. Let's keep meeting every, a couple times a year. And that has paid off for me many times. So can't wait to see you guys all in person next month. Thank you to our annual sponsors, MG&E, Marco Technologies, Hilton Garden Inn, and Premier Retirement Partners. And again, follow us on social media. If you do not want your contact information in that virtual business card exchange that Kristen will send around on Friday, please let her know. as soon as possible. Kristen at middletonchamber.com. Get your teams ready. Get your teams ready for Sporttoberfest. It's going to be amazing.